What's going on? What's going on? Welcome in, everybody. Any questions are welcome. Whatever you're struggling with, you want advice for, something you're trying to create more in your life, relationships, self growth, any questions are welcome. I've helped over 100 men and women in my coaching practice transform their lives, so we're here to help you guys out. How was Valentine's Day? Very awesome. Very awesome. Spent almost $300 on dinner, and it was like a four-course meal, so pretty good. Very good. Might be a little lower energy today, guys. Been traveling. I drove 5 hours. Oh, yeah, drove over 5 hours today. So a little mentally all over the place, but we're here to still here to help you guys out. So whoever has the first few questions, let's dive into it, guys. Let's dive into it. We got about 40 minutes here today, so feel free to throw some questions down below. We're gonna help you guys out. Alrighty, absolutely. Share away anything you guys are going through. Welcome in. How was everyone else's Valentine's Day? Welcome in, everybody. Alright, that's a good question. If a male friend confesses he loves me, tells me that he's been ignoring me, and plans to block you, uh, did he mean it? Well, if your friend confesses that he loves you, he doesn't actually love you, he's just infatuated with you because he spent a decent amount of time with you, but love is a shared bond and connection, which clearly isn't going on here. And if he's threatening to ignore you and block you, it shows that you guys don't really have a foundation for your relationship, and it's probably not gonna last. Now, Moenda, if you're anyone older than 15 years old, this relationship isn't gonna work. If you guys are 15, I think this can slide a little bit in the realms of like you guys are still learning about dating and people are going all over the place. Still not acceptable behavior though. I'm gonna block you because I told you that I care about you. Like, what are you doing? This is just you're playing games. Um, let's see. My husband is 86, and his kids are really antagonistic towards me. What do I do? Your husband is 86. His kids are really antagonistic towards me. Well, you have to have a deep conversation about this. And the question is, like, did you get married before you had a relationship with his kids? Because if so, that shows an incongruency here. You have to have a very deep conversation about this. This isn't just something to brush off. Um, question, if the girls I like mentally wise, I don't have money for them, and the woman I meet I see no future with. Could you rephrase that question, Ahmad? I didn't quite understand it. Um, I just met a new friend this morning, and he confessed that he's gay in the evening. What was that? Are you if you, your new friend confessed that they're gay? Um, are you a man or a woman? Because if you're a man, then he's probably letting you know so that you understand, and it's not something that when you maybe make an assumption a few more times after hanging out with him, like, oh, maybe this guy's gay. You already know. He's just laying it out for you, so you know. But that's who knows. A bunch of different possibilities here. Um, what's my experience about in life to coach someone? I was diagnosed with depression at 13, dealt with it until I was 16 years old. Then I got obsessed with self development, relationships, spirituality, psychology, philosophy for the next 7 years of my life. And I've helped over 100 men and women in my coaching practice transform their lives. What's going on, everyone on YouTube? We got TikTok over here too. Is ADHD real or a lie? I mean, look, I'm not a medical professional, so I'm not here to say certain diagnoses exist or don't exist. ADHD is definitely one of those that are overdiagnosed when certain people may not have them. And statistics and research has showed that. But I'm not going to sit here and say ADHD just isn't real. I'm not in a position to claim that. But there's definitely some misdiagnoses for sure. I was talking about it with my girl the other day. Like, I think everyone has a little bit of ADHD. Like, my mind is constantly going in different directions. It's hard to focus on one thing at one time. Especially with our limited attention spans because of social media and brain rot content. I mean, everyone has ADHD nowadays. My wife cheated on me. I started drinking. She doesn't like how I am when I'm drinking. Okay, your wife cheated on you, and then you started drinking, so you didn't actually you didn't confront the problem. You're just avoiding the pain. Now I understand why you're doing that because this hurts, but there needs to be an in-depth conversation around this. And if the integrity of your relationship was broken, which most likely it was, and this is a conversation: is our marriage going to continue? Can I forgive you for this? That conversation isn't being had. This is only going to get worse. So Bat Nasty, if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM walking me through how she cheated, what the in-depth situation is. I'd love to give you some actionable steps to really help you out with this. Ahmad said, um, should I just be with a girl I see no future with just to not be alone? No, that's a horrible idea. That's exactly how you cheat on your partner, don't have your needs met, and live a miserable life together. Do not be with someone just so you aren't alone. Think about it, you're just doing it out of fear. You're not doing it out of growth. If you can, you need to strive to have a relationship where you truly care about everybody, that individual at all capacities, physical, mental, spiritual. It all needs to be integrated together. If it's not going to end well, as it doesn't for most other people. Jimmy on YouTube said, dude, if you don't wake up like you're on speed every day, you do not have a hyperactive disorder. What's going on, user? Let's see. We got a lot of questions coming in. Don't worry, I'm going to get to everybody. Let's scroll up a little bit because my questions moved. When does life get better? As soon as you start to confront the areas you've been refusing to address. It'll start to get a little bit more challenging. Once you get over that hoop and that hurdle, things will get a lot better pretty quickly. Bro, I just want to know, how can I find direction in my life? You need to do an exceptional amount of research and try an exceptional amount of new things in your life. A lot of us are like, how do I find direction? How do I find purpose? And we're sitting in our mind doing nothing all day, or doing the same thing as we always do, not finding purpose in it, expecting to just find the answer. You have to experiment with these types of things. Am I religious? I'm spiritual, but I'm not religious. We already answered that question. What can I do when I start to do something, but once I realize that I'm not getting results, I quit? Well, here's the thing. You have to have discernment here. Am I not getting results because I haven't given it enough time, or am I doing the wrong thing? Because there's multiple possibilities here. But to be honest, a lot of people give up right as they were on the cusp of actually becoming successful or seeing that first ounce of progress. People are like, oh, I tried it for 5 days. Oh my God, it's not worth it. It's like going in the gym for a week when you've been overweight for 15 years and you're like, oh my God, I don't have crazy energy levels after a week of going to the gym. Oh my God, I haven't lost 50 pounds. Oh my God, I don't have a girlfriend. Oh my God, I guess it's not working. It's like, brother, what are you doing? So that being said, it's all subjective, right? There's so many different experiences. So Elite Eliasus, I don't know how to pronounce your name at all. But if you want to shoot me a follow and a DM walking me through like what you've been trying and what you've been giving up on, would love to dive into it with you and help you out. Jamie on YouTube said, I'm 53 and not slowing down, starting to get a little scary. What are you trying to slow down with? Or what are you struggling to slow down with? Just graduated college, can't find a job, been bed rotting, still applying the jobs. Yes, you're in despair. Okay. Well, I mean, look, this is the rough reality of a lot of people who graduate from university. They can't find a job, and they go and work another minimum wage job for another 2 years, and then maybe they find something. College is not necessarily outdated, but for a lot of industries that people are studying, it is. Now, here's the thing. Yes, keep applying the jobs, but stop bed rotting. Go work a job that you don't want to work just for the next month or two, whatever it is, so you can actually get yourself to do things. Because sitting in bed is not going to be helping you. It's gonna make you feel more despair. Already answered that question. Donathan on YouTube said, I'm about to ask out the girl of my dreams. She's 35 years older than me. Any advice? She's the girl of your dreams. I wouldn't throw that projection onto her. But you're going to ask her out. Is she at work with you? Do you work with her? What's the situation like? What's your relationship like with her currently? Have you talked to her at all? Is this just like a crush? Rodolfo said, do you believe in God? I do. We meet again. What's going on? Being with someone who has BPD made me want to be single forever. I don't know why does that make you want to be single forever? Just you could be with somebody who doesn't have that diagnosis. My dad left in the summer. I want to get my mind off of it. Do you have any advice? I mean, look, this is going to be difficult to process. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that comes up here. I don't know how old you are. Jason, I know you already follow me. If you want to shoot me a DM about this, of like what you're really feeling and what the situation was of him leaving, would love to dive into it. You're being pressured to listen to a song. How so? Oh, we already answered these questions. Yeah, for those of you guys that are throwing your questions down multiple times, please just throw it down once. I'll get to you. Don't worry. Um, what can I do when I start to do something? But once, yeah, are we already down to that question too? I'm also leaning spiritual, non-religious. How did you decide on believing in what you believe in? It's a good question. Cool person. I haven't decided on what I believe in. I don't have a particular God that I pray to. I don't have a specific spiritual text that I'm willing to die for. I'm still exploring this. Yeah, I don't. I'm not religious because there's a lot of religious practices that are beneficial. There's also a lot of them that are traditions and they aren't really beneficial, but people just do it because they're supposed to. I don't want to limit myself, so I'm constantly studying different religions and philosophies. I have not decided on exactly what I particularly believe, but I know, like, I believe in God wholeheartedly. I just don't have a specific description of what God is, like most people claim that they do. You really adapt reading fast. It's commendable. I appreciate it. Glad it resonates, Marty. Let's see. I took your advice the other day and it helped my relationship so much. We're okay again, thanks to you. Hey, Kimmy, I'm glad it resonated. Appreciate you saying that. I'm glad to hear it helped. All right. Yeah, I appreciate when you guys come back in the live like a few days later after I give you some piece of actionable steps and you guys tell me, hey, it actually worked. Awesome to hear. Spiraling into a negative state 3 days ago. Are no contact from my girlfriend. Any advice? Well, yeah, DOS, why are you going no contact? I need to understand the situation of this. Why are you going no contact? How long have you been together? What's the goal with going no contact? Are you broken up or you're just taking some space? And DOS, feel free to shoot me a follow and a DM about the in-depth details if it's a really long description. Is it okay to start another family even if you already have a family and kids? If you're still married and you're not divorced, probably not. Alright, let's see. Bradley, is putting jelly before peanut butter a psychological phenomenon? I don't know. I don't really like peanut butter, like, at all. So I'd prefer to just have jelly, actually, for myself. Alright, let's see. Hey man, can you check my DM? Yeah, if I haven't gotten back to you in the DMs yet, I've been traveling the last 3 days, so I haven't been working. But shoot me another DM again if I didn't get back to you. It'll go to the top of my inbox. What's going on, Ryan? I'm 17, never had many friends because I don't feel like I fit into society. I lost hope for a girlfriend. All right, well, you're 17, man. Your life hasn't even started. Why are you giving up? Maybe you've had some difficult times, and I'm not going to sit here and say you haven't. But you are at the beginning, brother. Do not give up and say, oh, I can't have a girlfriend because I'm 17 years old and I don't fit into... Hey, brother, I never fit into society. 9 to 5, work a normal job, go to the same place every day, talk to the same people every day, have service level conversations, believe that the only thing that matters is getting a degree. Like, I didn't subscribe to any of that. Ever since I was 13, the idea of it sickened me. So, brother, I don't fit into society either. But that doesn't... I have a beautiful girlfriend. I run businesses. I love what I do. I help people transform their lives. I don't fit into society. That's a gift. Most people that fit in, you know why they fit in? Because they're just they fit into little boxes. They do what they're told. They don't question things. You don't want to be like everybody else, right? So this is not a bad thing, KRS. You want to connect to the vision. What do I want to create in my life? What do I want to connect to? You'll eventually find people that want to do that with you too. Maddie said, have I accomplished anything in life? Yeah, I've accomplished some things. Alright, let's see. I don't go to those. I usually don't go to those restaurants, Noah. So happy to be able to give that update. Your advice is really helpful and fair. I'm glad it resonates. I appreciate you. Depressed because of balding at 21. Okay. I don't know what the medical situation is like, of how, if there's any way to reverse that or anything. But this is about connecting to your vulnerabilities and that there's certain things you're not in control of. Doesn't mean that you can't have a successful relationship. If you believe that that's true, it's just a projection that you're creating for yourself. Am I empathetic? Are you empathic? Meaning, do I care about people? I'd like to say I do. My girlfriend cheated on me, so how do I move on? Well, it depends on why she cheated. Depends on what exact situation you've been in. And, yo, can you fill me in on those details? Alright, let's see. How's a 15-year-old giving life advice, Garrett said. I'm actually 12 years old. Get it right, brother. Um, let's see. Should I support my partner while he wants to be better for himself and he'll be back for me after? Yeah, this is not how Miayu. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. This is not how relationships and self-growth operates. Your partner wants to be better for himself, meaning you guys aren't together anymore, and then he'll be back for you after. No, that's not going to happen. If he wants to do some self-growth work, he can do that with you. Because if he wants to be in the relationship with you, that's what he's going to do. If he doesn't, he's going to use it as an out. That's what everyone does nowadays. I have to focus on myself, so I can't be in a relationship like right now. Why can't you work on yourself while you're in a relationship? In fact, what if that's one of the required purposes to have the most fulfilling relationship possible, to constantly work on yourself? What if that's a part of the equation? I believe it is. Is empathy, in your opinion, a theology or a personality trait? I wouldn't even say empathy is a personality trait. I think it's just naturally a part of human nature. You just naturally care about people. If I don't fit in for the rest of the people, is there a way I'll find a girlfriend, or I don't drink or party? I'm boring, brother. If you don't, brother, if you believe that drinking and partying, if you don't do that, you're boring. That is something that you're just creating in your mind. I think most of the people that I hang out with that are fun, they either don't drink or party, or they do it very minimally, and I don't do it with them. I'm not into that. I've never been into it. So yes, I'm the living example for you of like the outcast of society, and I'm in a beautiful relationship, and I do things that I love every day. So KRS, like, you can absolutely do this stuff. You cheated on your girlfriend. Now you want her back. How can I manipulate her into coming back? You're asking me the wrong question, brother. You gotta move on. You screwed up and you pay the consequences. You should cut off all your. Okay, that's a irrational comment. Let's see. Yeah, of course, Miayu. And if you want to shoot me a follow, would love to see you back in here. Let's see. Need some more. Drinking and partying is immature. I mean, look, if people want to have a drink once in a while, they want to go partying once in a while. I used to talk down on people who did that. I don't do that anymore. Let people do whatever they want. I personally don't enjoy it. Like, if people do it once in a while, fair play. If you do it every weekend, you're probably running away from something. I'm scared that my teenage life is just a phase, but I love my life so much. Everything in life is a phase. Every emotion, every experience, it all goes up, it all goes down. It's constantly fluctuating. This is not a bad thing. But if you love your life so much, keep enjoying it. No need to change anything. Um, I mean, all I think of people my age is go out with friends, but I don't do none of that. I don't even talk to anyone. I mean, you could start to talk to people without being in that scene. You could also go to a scene like that once or twice and not drink and still have a good time. 5 years sober today. My husband and I have tons of fun with no alcohol present. That's awesome, Cindy. Congrats. Let's see. What's the best wisdom of someone betraying you? James said. Well, if somebody betrayed you, they're simply showing you who they are, and it's good they did it now rather than later because you had blinders on, not looking at the real version of them, and now they screwed you over. Better it happened now than 5 years from now after you got married, or after you've been friends for another 5 years, or after someone made this situation worse, right? So if somebody betrayed you, good. They're not going to be in your life anymore. So that's not somebody you want to be around you. Is morality objective or constructed? It's the age-old question in philosophy. Is morality objective or constructed? I think it's a mix of both. I like science keeps arguing both sides, so I don't think human beings have the answer. I think morality is partly objective and partly constructed. I think for the most part, a lot of morality is objective, but there are also certain realms of it that are more constructed. Drinking and partying can also have its consequences. Most definitely can. Hi, Brad. I recently left a job. Welcome back in, Al. Recently left a job I liked because of a toxic boss. My husband said he'll support us, and I don't have to work. What do you think of the traditional marriage like that? L, if your husband is able to support you and you don't want to work, I don't see any reason. This is not like this is your boyfriend and you're like relying on him. Like this is your husband. You're in a contractual marriage and you've committed your lives to each other. So if he's doing that, I mean, it could be a beautiful thing. But it's what you want, Al. Because look, if you feel like you're going to be miserable being a traditional wife and just cooking and cleaning all day, don't do that. Right? If you want to go work a job, work a job. Or look, you don't have to be home cooking and cleaning all day if you don't work a job. I'm sure you can go out and do things. You can hang out with friends, whatever you could build passion projects. Maybe you start a side business. So L, I mean, look, it's worth a deep conversation about it, and you got to see what your heart desires. So you know it's on the table that he can provide for you, and you don't need to work. Question is, what do you want? And how do you integrate the want and the need together? Something to reflect upon. I don't feel like my age. I'm supposed to be 20, but I feel immature. You're supposed to be 20, but I feel immature. Well, what level of maturity do you need to get to? And what aspects of your maturity do you feel like is immature? Like, what are you doing or saying or participating in your life that makes you think, oh, I'm not mature enough at 20? I got bored quickly and I don't know what I like. What am I going to do? I'm 20 years old. You got bored quickly of what? Ella said, I don't agree with life coaches. I think you're just taking profit from vulnerable people with respect. I appreciate your opinion, but everyone in my coaching practice makes a tremendous amount of progress in their life. Otherwise, they wouldn't pay me. So, I mean, look, you've never worked with a life coach. You also don't know anything about it. You just have this random opinion about it, which is basically invalid. And I say that with respect to Ella. Most people don't understand you don't need to have an opinion on everything. Oh yeah, life coaches are this, right? You've never worked with one. You've never truly interacted with one. Oh, but they're this. It's like people who believe, oh, if somebody's a millionaire, they must be scamming people. I hear this all the time. Um, One of my mentors that's a millionaire did it all legitimately, all legally by changing businesses and helping them get more clients and changing people's lives. And there's still people that say, "Oh my God, they're this." Why? Because they can't conceptualize the fact that somebody could be helping somebody else and making a living while doing it. So I mean, look, yeah, I mean, look, everyone who's criticized me um, usually has never had an experience with anyone. Also, usually isn't focusing on self growth in their lives. But I understand your perspective. I understand. You can believe whatever you want. Just say have a little bit more of an open mind before you just have an opinion on something you don't know anything about. I don't. We already dived into that. We already dived into that question too. Morality was created by us, wasn't it? Good and bad are merely constructs to allow us to coexist. I mean, maybe they were created 50 billion years ago, not that long, but you don't people like yes, you're taught as a kid for the most part, like what good and bad is, right or wrong, but there are certain things that are just innate. He said all my traits are perfect, but he couldn't develop feelings after 3 months. Why? All of your traits are perfect, but he couldn't develop feelings after 3 months. He's either slept with like 50 girls and he just can't find himself settling down, or he's just saying you have perfect traits, but he's not actually that attracted to you. He could also have a split, where meaning there's a part of him that's very attracted to you, and another part of him that wants to run away because he's afraid of that connection too. That could be possible. But if he has zero feelings for you after 3 months of talking to you, but your traits are perfect, he doesn't actually think your traits are perfect. Fair point. You seem quite smart, to be fair. I appreciate it, Ella. I appreciate you jumping in here. A lot of times we take way too much for granted. I get to instead of I have to. Change your perspective. I like that. Let's see. How are you? I'm doing good, Maximo. How are you? I think you're a lot different than most life coaches. You actually seem smarter than. I mean, look, yeah, I will say, like, look, the industry of life coaching, it's very unregulated, right? It's not a medical profession, so there's a lot. Basically anyone can call themselves a life coach, right? So with that being a possibility, most people who do this work are horrible at it, and most people don't actually help people transform their lives. They just give them a few motivational quotes, and it's like, yeah, pay me $100. It's like, all right, brother, shut up, right? So. Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of people make life coaching look like a stupid industry. I'm here to make it look like it's actually something worth trying out for yourself, if you feel called to. And look, everyone in my coaching practice makes a tremendous amount of progress. I wouldn't be able to be on here and do what I do if it wasn't benefiting people. Most people my age already know what to do with their lives. They study, they work. You play on PC. Okay, well, I mean, look, that's your decision. Kasu, you have to take accountability here. You ready? You're saying most people your age at 20 years old already know what they want to do with their lives. They study and they work. That's a lie. Most people at 20 years old have no idea what they're doing. They're just working and studying because they feel like they have to. So, yes, there's certain people that know more. But if you're just at 20 years old playing on your computer, you're not trying to find your purpose, and that is nobody else's fault but your own. And you have to take accountability for that. Start instead of just playing games on your PC, research industries. What could I get into? What degree could I pursue? What business could I start? What skills could I develop? Then you'll be ahead of most people because most people are just studying and working for the sake of studying and working. If you're starting to study and work for a intentional purpose, brother, you'll be above everybody else. But it's not for the sake of that. It's for the sake of finding yourself, which is what you want to do. What to do when I confronted him about some space and he goes silent? You confronted him about some issues and he goes silent. Yeah, if you bring up any sort of issue and they instantly go silent, they aren't super they're not super in tune with themselves, because one of the most important components of a romantic relationship is to be able to have confrontations together and actually get through it together. If they refuse to have a conversation about that and they start ignoring you the second you start a conversation they don't like, it's a problem. It's not a long-term relationship. Great value, Chris Pratt. I don't think I look like Chris Pratt. But Aiko To Sinatoy, if I'm pronouncing your name correctly, feel free to shoot me a follow and a DM about what the situation is. Would love to help you out with it. Thanks, yes, that's true. I was thinking of taking design and acting classes, also volunteering. There you go. Awesome stuff. Alright, let's see. We already got to that question. Why do people find it difficult to be vulnerable with others, to trust, to show seriousness? That's a good question. Well, here's the thing. When you put yourself in a vulnerable position, you put yourself in a position where you're leading the authentic truth about yourself, and people could use that against you. In fact, a lot of people have been honest and they've had that used against them, so then they have a negative association to being honest. Then they start lying to people. Oh, white lies are okay. They're not. They just they just create themselves to be bigger lies, and then you start living a lie, right? You see the congruency between that. But yeah, it's difficult for a lot of people to trust because they've been hurt before, right? And it makes sense because they have evidence to back up why they can't trust people. But even if you got screwed over by 15 people, 15 out of 8 billion people that exist on this planet, you don't have enough of a sample size to really be like, oh, I can't trust people. Sometimes a lack of trust within other people is also a lack of trust within ourselves too. Sometimes we manipulate and screw people over, so we're afraid that people are going to do it to us because we know it's exactly what we would do to them. Sometimes I get excited about Making new friends. How do I calm down my excitement? I don't think you need to calm your excitement. If you're excited about something, allow yourself to sit in that. Stunning eye color. Thanks. Um, Me and my girl got. I don't know if you guys have ever seen those like places they take a picture of your eye and they put it in like it's like all zoom. I literally have in the middle of my eye. Obviously, you can't see it now, but with a microscope, I have it's like a ray of light, like you see in like the glare of a sun, like around my eye, which is really cool. So my eyes are like green and blue, and then there's like yellow in between. I see myself as attractive, finally learning how to be positive. That's awesome. Enjoying time with friends isn't avoiding purpose. I agree with that. Well, in some capacity, you could spend time with friends and avoid your purpose. She left me for a misunderstanding and then went back to the previous situationship. Good. This was not the right girl for you. This is great. That they were going to screw you over big time. I'm sorry about assuming things about you. As a life coach, you do seem very intelligent. Appreciate you, Ella. No worries at all. How difficult is it to find a girl in your country? Not difficult at all. You just walk outside. Is it understandable if I don't really trust any men anymore because every man I met betrayed me? Yeah, this is a perfect example of what I was talking about before. So yeah, if every man you've ever met has betrayed you, and it makes sense why you don't trust men. But here's the thing. You want to look back at where this originated from because it could stem from childhood, the relationship you had with your father, or the lack of relationship you had with him. You had no masculine leadership, so you constantly attract and speak to men who are not masculine. They're toxic, right? And now you have a poor perception of what masculinity is, and oh my God, toxic masculinity. All men have treated me badly. You, especially if you're a woman, you have to get very in tune with your intuition because you have this natural gift. A lot of men are like, oh, they don't understand things. As women, you have a natural intuition that's gifted within you. Sometimes you have some blocks over that you can't really feel into it. But if you learn to read men's body language, the way they present themselves, seeing if he's authentic or not, you're not going to have a problem with trusting men anymore because you're going to see if he's trustworthy or not. If he's not, you leave him. And if he is, you give him the time of day. And yeah, your profile picture is just black and you don't have a name. But if you want to shoot me a follow and DM about this, would love to help you kind of find a good man for yourself. One that's not going to screw you over anymore. I got a better question. Is everything just a pattern that's undiscovered? We could assume that, but not necessarily. So excited for the women's group. Yeah, Eliza, we're hopping on the women's group session in about 5 minutes from now. Can a stable romantic relationship not require dependency and emotional vulnerability? Yeah, this is a good question. Can a stable romantic relationship not require dependency and emotional vulnerability? Okay, well, here's the thing. Depends on what your definition of dependency is. If you depend on your partner for your life purpose, so you depend on your partner to live, to exist, and you can't exist without them, that's a problem. But emotional vulnerability required in a relationship. Here's what happens when you're vulnerable about something and someone truly sees you and accepts you for it. Connection. If you constantly hide that part of yourself, you just feel more guilt and shame. Then you create resentment for yourself. Then you cast that towards your partner, sabotage the relationship. And oh my God, what happened? I cheated. Oh my God, what happened? Everything's screwed up. It's because you didn't face the dark parts of yourselves and be open and honest with them. Alrighty. Hi, am I too old to start again? No, it's never too late. Shoot me a follow and a DM. I talked to plenty of guys in their 40s who were kind of like, oh, what do I do? Get you on the right track. What are the pros and cons of dating a mom? What are the pros and cons of dating a single mom with 3 kids? Well, I mean, that's just the outside qualities. I don't know who I don't know what her personality traits are of that. We're just talking about the surface level of what you told me, they're not your kids. Me personally, I would never want to be in a marriage or a relationship with somebody who has kids and they're not mine. That's just me. That's my personal preference. Pros and cons of dating a single mom with 3 kids. I mean, look, you got to look at her past relationship. Why isn't she with her ex-husband? Like, what was the situation there? There's a lot of stuff to dive into. It's not necessarily you can't do it and it's always going to end badly. But if she's a single mom with 3 kids, she either chose the wrong partner or things of that nature. There's a lot of stuff to dive into there. All right, everybody. I got a session with my women's group in 5 minutes from now, so I got to hop off. If you guys have enjoyed the live, we go TikTok live, diving into self-growth 7 days a week. Feel free to shoot me a follow. I would love to see you guys back in here. Short live today. We did a little under 40 minutes. We're usually over an hour. Shoot me a follow if you guys have enjoyed this. I'll see you guys back tomorrow. I love you guys very much. I appreciate you. Shoot me a DM with any further questions you guys have. And I'll see you guys very soon. Peace out, everyone.